Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Sorry, running a little bit late. Only 5 minutes. But have some fun stuff to talk about today. Well, one, I'm just going to be chilling, catching fish for this auction tomorrow. I haven't even fully decided all what I'm taking, but we're going to go through it together. I think we'll start catching look, Pikakio's out. Yeah, buddy. Looking good. So I found out with them, like, I don't really see them too much. They're in there. But freeze-dried foods seems to bring them out. I put Daphne in there. I put all sorts of worms in there. Nothing. Putu is armed with a weapon. Uh-oh. Yeah, better behave yourself. Better behave yourself. All right, so first thing before I start... Hello. All right, my bad. I accidentally muted it. Anyways, as I was saying, I was watching the Aquarium co-op stream, and Cory was talking about, oh man, I wish someone did this testing. I'm trying to get rid of all the snails, like Malaysian Trumpet Snails, blah, 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 for my shrimp tank. I got the fix for you, buddy. This is for you. And I was saying, honestly, this is like a 5-minute conversation, but I can drag it out with a story, you know, but this goes all the way back to when I first started breeding. I had a shrimp tank, red shrimp tank. There's some hydra in it, actually. And I think I'd already started breeding the magenta mystery snails back then. And I was looking for a way to treat the hydra. Ended up doing no planaria, worked very well. I noticed some disparities on the snails that it affected. That's when I first started tracking. And long story short, over time, I found that Malaysian trumpet snails and no planaria, I can put the no planaria in there, do like a spoonful. All the Malaysian trumpet snails are gone in a day or two. Just wipe them out. I've never seen hydra. I like to keep them as a pet. They look cool. Feed enough small foods, they'll show up eventually, in my experience. Like, a lot of time I won't really see them, and then if I'm feeding heavy baby Brian a lot, that's when the hydra show up. That's been my experience. But basically, yeah. No planaria. I need to go and do like a breakdown on exactly how it works and understand why it kills snails, but I know it's like some kind of ground up plant thing. It's not snail safe, but there's disparities on the snail. Like ram's horns don't really seem to be killed by it. Pond snails don't really seem to be phased. Mystery snails just get annihilated. You can put them in a tank that used no planaria like a few months later. I've done that and kept them fine. But I've tried like recently one I did with no planaria like a couple weeks later. Mystery snail died. And Malaysian trumpet snails just get annihilated. And in fact, I did have the foresight to treat some tanks ahead of time so I could use them as an example. Yo, what's up, Nathan? How's it going, gang? I've never had a problem with snails. It's usually if you're overfeeding. Well, a lot of my tanks, I'm breeding a lot of different things, so yeah, I'm overfeeding, quote unquote, in a lot of the tanks. There's a lot of food going inside. Anyways, regardless, Malaysian trumpet snails are really the ones that are annoying to get rid of because nothing eats them. That's the problem. I can put a kill squad of pea puffers. They're gonna eliminate the ram's horns and pond snails in a day. Beetle nut extract, it overstimulates their central nervous system and they OD. Sounds fantastic to me. Hey, whatever they need, man. If I need to give them that killer nut, that's what's gonna happen. So here's a tank, and I'll do a comparison of a tank that has a lot of Malaysian trumpet snails, just so you can get a visual of what we're dealing with. So they're not even crawled up a ton, but you can see like there's Malaysian trumpet snails here on the glass. If you look inside, you can see they're like all that white specks on the plants, like that's all the Malaysian trumpet snails. I gotta turn down the screen so it doesn't reflect, but yeah. So you can see they're all over in this tank. Now, you can times that about 3 times for the tank I'm about to show you. Malaysian trumpets look cute. Well, there's some downsides when you're trying to breed stuff. Like, they disrupt the breeding of a couple fish. I haven't done like testing watching them to like, oh yeah, I know for sure they eat eggs, but I do know they make breeding less successful for some fish. They just get in the way, honestly. For shrimp, I don't think they'd really ever outcompete shrimp too much, because shrimp, they can move around, they can pick food up, run off with it. But anyways, you can times that tank by about 3 or 2 days ago, you would have seen Malaysian trumpet snails crawling up. And actually, I didn't even treat this tank because of them. For the MTS lovers that are crying in the chat, like, they look so cute. I mean, they look cute at reasonable levels. Once you have like a billion, it's not as cute. But okay, so the planaria I found out were eating the eggs of my apistos. 4 times they laid eggs. I wasn't getting anything. I was like, what the hell? Looked in the cave. Planaria, the same bright pink as the apisto eggs. I just couldn't believe that they were that bad of parents, quite honestly. Like, I couldn't believe it. But okay, I gotta treat the tank for planaria. It also happened to have a ton of Malaysian trumpets, like, just covering the glass. This was maybe a week ago now. Anyways, within 2 days, it looked like this. No evidence of the Malaysian trumpet snails at all. And basically, my theory on that is like Hutu Bird said, it's a nut extract, right? When you put it in, I mean, it does dissolve a little bit, but it definitely settles in the substrate. I think since the Malaysian trumpets spend more time in the substrate than a lot of other snails, they stand no chance. So, NCAA versus in my tanks, what? So yeah, I mean, look, not gonna drag it out. That's really all I have to say. If you want to get rid of Malaysian trumpet snails easily, overnight, you don't mind if there's some other snail casualties, no planaria. It's safe for shrimp. It's safe for isopods. It's safe for fish. It kills a lot of other things that you normally don't want, honestly. Love that stuff. So, there you go. Cory, try it out. If it works, just say, hey, Nick, I tried it. It worked. And if it doesn't work, say, yo, Nick, total idiot. Total idiot. I dislike the video. And that pretty much gets out of the way. I mean, it's like such a simple thing. I feel like when you watch YouTube videos on these kind of topics, it'll be like a 15-minute video. I'm like, bro, get to the point. Get to the point. Get to the point. So I'm not going to drag it out because I hate when people do that. But yeah, I heard when you add fish that eat snails, the Malaysian trumpets, yeah. I've got rid of them with assassin snails, but it'll take some time. Yeah, assassin snails, they look, maybe they work for some people. They ain't doing shit for me, bro. Assassin snail, first of all, these are tanks for I'm breeding stuff. I'm feeding a lot of food. Assassin snails will eat other food. It's a lot easier to eat whatever food you're throwing in there than chasing down snails all the time. And, you know, some people say, oh, you put the assassin snails in, the assassin snails will reproduce. You know, tons of assassin snails. Look, 8 months in, it hasn't happened. I'm praying to the gods that I have this problem. Like, Lord, I see what you do for others, but no, bro. I like being able to clear out a tank the next day, and honestly, there hasn't really been that much as far as like water parameters problems from the die-off. Probably because 1, I got tons of shrimp and stuff in most of these tanks. 2, they're probably dying underground, so Maybe that's a problem for another day. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've got pretty established tanks at this point, so I'm not really too concerned about it. But yeah, assassin snails take forever in my opinion. Now, Pootu Bird in the chat is gonna start selling snail leeches that apparently are safe for all sorts of things except for snails. So maybe Cory and friends, you need to order some snail leeches. They look terrifying, but if they kill the Malaysian trumpet snails, could be worth it. And maybe fish will like to eat them. I don't know. I only feed once a day and rarely more. Yeah. Again, this is not advice for necessary. Like, bro, it's not necessarily normal problems. You're breeding fish, like you're feeding them like tons of food 3 to 5 times a day. Like the snails are gonna eat. Also, even if you just have enough live plants and stuff decaying in there, leaves and there's plenty of them, plenty of stuff in there for them to eat and reproduce. Like I get like I don't think it's always necessarily a sign of overfeeding. Like it may be a sign of a lot of food being available, but the snails can make a little go a very long way. I mean, if they get enough just to lay one clutch of eggs, you got like 100 snails. You know what I mean? That's pretty attainable, I think. But yeah. Plus, things like Malaysian trumpet snails, like they're given live birth, I believe. So they're definitely great at reproducing with very little. They may not get very big very fast. Like I feel like my Malaysian trumpet snails do stay pretty small because they have a lot of competition. But yeah, no planaria. Knock them out. Clown loaches will most likely eat them. Then you're stuck with the clowns. I might have to. I want to try the what's the loach that I wanted to try? I was just talking about this the other day. It's one of the other like popular small loaches that eat snails. It's not the zebra loach. Is it the yo-yo loach that I'm thinking of? No, it's not the yo-yo loach. No, it is the yo-yo loach, I think. Let me just say it. Loaches that eat snails. Oh, the dwarf chain loach. That's what I was thinking of. I want to get some dwarf chain loaches. That 186 you called it. Yep, dwarf chain loach. But you know, getting stuff to eat things like, for instance, if you're trying to clear out a shrimp tank of MTS, then maybe you don't want to put a dwarf chain loach in there. So it's just a nice way that you can just kind of like set it, forget it, toss the no planaria, and they're all dead instantly. All right, we gotta catch some fish. I want to make this fun though. I feel like the only way it'll be fun is if you can see while I'm trying to catch the fish, like the fish I'm trying to catch, and I can kind of at the same time show you a bunch of stuff going on. So I'm gonna try and get my phone hooked up so we get the additional camera view for that. And the first fish that we're gonna catch, and I think this is gonna be a long night for me. I don't know if I'll necessarily stream the whole time, but I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna be around for a minute. Okay. Let me just transition so now that we'll have the phone camera be big, and then we'll have my big face be small. So just give me 1 second. Transition it out. All right. So the first fish that we're gonna catch, upside down, is gonna be some Japanese blue. Are they double sword? I don't know. They're Japanese blue windlers. I forget. I got them from Chris Diaz. It's a very cool line. He's doing all sorts of cool experiments with them. So I have a bunch of babies. I think that I can sex them, do a pair, and I'm gonna catch them. And that's what we're gonna freaking do, bro. And I'll be able to show you the fish as we go. And they're up there. That's why I'm making that face, because I'm like, okay, let me get the step ladder. Give me 1 second. Okay. Well, luckily this shouldn't be a hard one to catch. Like, you'll see how they are, but like, it's not the worst. It's not the worst setup that I've had to catch something out of. Drop it, then chase fish into a net. That often works for me. I might have to do that for some of the fish coming up, but luckily, we're starting with the dumb fish first. The dumb fish, you don't necessarily have to do all those tricks. And I mean, dumb is relative, but just there's some fish like the cribs. It would take me all day to catch them with one net, honestly. Especially if they're used to your tricks. But I don't think I'm gonna catch any cribs for this because I don't feel like hating my life. Maybe if I wake up early. So I just ordered these nets to try. I really just wanted them for like small stuff, but I wanted more telescoping things. These are nice, like they feel good, but they're too slow. They're slow. Some nets are definitely faster than others. So, wait, where did I set my phone down at? There we go. Alright. So you can see, they're small, but they got some great color. Look at that. Look at that. Trying to check the screen. A little bit of a watermark there for you guys. Hard to see, but I'm gonna set the phone up here. I got my light. We'll just grab a pair. Honestly, they've been up high. I haven't been able to see them too well, but they're actually looking pretty nice. So I think we'll be able to get a nice pair to put in for the swap. Dan uses double net. Yeah, double net method is necessary. You got to know the fish you're catching. For sure. All right. My net's too long. That's one female, and then male. Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy. I feel like that was pretty easy. We got her pair there. The only hard part of that was basically I have a least killifish in there too. So one second, let me get my light. Yeah, at least killifish in there too, so I just want to make sure I didn't get a least killifish female, but they got like a little black spot in their fin, so it's pretty easy to tell. Pretty easy to tell. There we go. They're in here. And yeah, they're, I don't know if they're guppies or Endler guppies or what, but you can see the male hasn't developed his like double sword tail situation yet, but their color is super bright. So got the male there, got the female over there, and yep, that's definitely an Endler female. So we did what we needed to do. That's one fish down. Yeah, let me see if I can show you their parents so you can get an idea of what the future may hold. Because actually the adult male that's in there now is actually kind of a coal. He came a little bit funky when I got him. You can see right there. that is one of the males. I can't really see too well what you guys can see for some reason when this mode is on. It doesn't show me on the phone screen what it's seeing. So let me pull the computer over here so I can actually see what you guys are seeing. But they're very brightly colored. This guy, he doesn't have the longer fins. I don't know where the male is that has longer fins, but it's not this one. Yeah. But it's a nice fish. Very bright, very shiny. What else could you ask for, man? What else could you really ask for? I know things are a mess right now because I had to set up a bunch of stuff today because I went and I have a very exciting things for the isopod agenda today. I'll just leave it at that. But things are like an absolute mess. Okay, so we got a pair of the Japanese blue double sword endlers. Should we catch? Hey, good eye. Yes, the Amieti are in there. I raised a bunch of them and then I oversold. And I have one pair left and like, I'll be honest. I like the nicer killifish, as in temperament. They're kind of mean, so I'm like gonna give them one last go. But I wouldn't necessarily be sad if they just hung out and were pretty for a while. Should we catch a pair of bibs? I feel like a pair of bibs would be nice. Rip fairy shrimp. I don't know if the fairy shrimp are dead or just I can't see them. It's like one of those, I always say it's like just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's dead. I know that the females, when they have eggs, like they do actually like deposit them places, so they could be hiding and doing that. They're in a green water tank, so I can only see when they come to the edge of the glass. So like if there's any behavior that causes them not to do that, then I'm just not going to see them. Okay, Yura says yes. All right, let's catch a pair of the bivs. I've been really liking. I've been doing these deli cups for catching stuff because for the auctions you got to catch so many damn things. And I think I saw Small World Aquatics. I swear I saw on their Facebook page they had a similar thing. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm onto something here. Like this actually is a good method. Okay. I know the thing with breeding, once you've done a species, you want to move on to another. Yeah. No, I'm definitely someone that I don't want to. The species I have now, I intend to keep breeding for the foreseeable future. I definitely don't want to be someone that is like constantly moving on. Like I think conservation is one of the most attractive parts of the hobby. It's like hard to do that but then at the same time, if you don't like a fish, you just don't like the fish, and you do got to move on. Otherwise, you're gonna neglect it. So the Amieti are pretty just temperamentally. They've been annoying, but honestly, that could be something that I breed for. Like you can affect temperament, and I think fish are just like anything. I think how they're raised, the environment they come up in, affects a lot. Like I got a pair of this dwarf red galaris. It's the most nasty mean pair ever. Like when I was breeding them, they were pretty nice fish. Like they weren't that mean. The male wasn't that bad, bro. This male, I had to separate him from the female. He tore up her fins. Like, I never had to deal with that with the galaris before. So, fish do vary in temperament. They are individuals. What style tank would what be? I don't know what style. If you're talking about this tank, I don't really know what style I would necessarily call this. This is a 29 gallon. I've got a colony of Aphysemium bivitatum. I actually just moved a bunch of extra males out. I'm trying to line breed them a little bit, so there's some traits I'm selecting for in the males and the females too. Some of the females have like Like you see at that bottom fin, there's like not too much there. Let me get my light. Some of the females definitely have more color than others. Like if you shine a light, you can see some hints of color at the bottom, some like purples and stuff like that. I'm not seeing any of the ones with the bright purple, but that's something I'd be trying to breed out in the females at least. The males, on their pectorals, I think some of them have like brighter feet. And then I noticed that some of the males on their streamers, the top streamer is orange and the bottom one is blue, but on some of them the top is orange and the bottom is also orange. So like there's small things I'm starting to select for. In my tank style, yeah, I guess you could say. I mean, this is one of my older tanks, so like how it's set up is definitely influenced by just whatever I was doing at the time. I'm slowly working on making it a little bit nicer, but it's not that it's not nice. I like this tank. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can grow out / breed the strawberry bettas in here, because it looks like I'm gonna get a third batch of fry, the males holding again. So I need a place for the current batch to go, and I think they would work well with the bibs and the cribs in here, and the way that the strawberry bettas breed. I think they could. I need to throw a bit more plants and moss and stuff in here, because I just tore a bunch out because I wanted to replace it. But I just got a crib pair, Pelvicochromis cribensis, in there. It's unique. I like it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Not everyone. Not everyone. I guess I said I didn't want to do a fish room tour really, but I guess I live stream so much. Like just over time, you're gonna see all of my shames. Let me drink some water. But we'll get a pair. I think I bapped these guys already. I was short females, but looks like this last batch of fry, we're a decent amount of females. I think I see 1, 2, 3. I think I have at least 4. So I want to do a pair for the Bucks County Aquarium Society, because fish are really regional, I've noticed, in these auctions, and a lot of people around me have the bivs, but I don't know if everyone up there has them. So plus every auction I go to, if possible, I want to put a killifish in there, since that's like my thing. And the bibs, I just usually have a pair available. The plant in the middle is a Crinium callistratum, I think. I just trimmed it because I was trying to clear the top of like the floating plants. It was like totally matted with redroot floaters, but I want to go in a different direction. Make some more videos on YouTube, please. Long form or shorts, not live. I mean, bro, you're even gonna take the shorts over the lives? My live's that bad, man? Come on, bro. But no. You're I hear you. I actually, trust me, I'm working on stuff. I never stop filming, so very soon. But you know what would be helpful? Instead of just telling me to make more videos, let me know what you want me to make videos about. Because I'm working on a lot of things, but what I actually finish first can be prioritized depending. Obviously, I think the next video is probably going to be about isopods, because I just know so much more than when I last did a video. So here's a nice young male I'm gonna catch for the auction, and it's nice with them because like even at a younger age, it's very obvious. Even though this species of killifish, the females still look pretty attractive in my opinion. They still got some color. They still got the lines. No, guys, I'm with you. I'm not actually offended. Like, I need to make some YouTube videos. It's just, one, I've been super, like, it's all infrastructure, right? So like this is a hobby. It's for fun. But like, okay, if I'm gonna do the YouTube stuff, like I need to be able to justify more time. So it's like, okay, I wanted to get monetized some before I went too crazy just making videos, because you don't get paid retroactively for it. But then two, a lot of the videos I'm working on are like long-term projects. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make a species. I'm keeping like a lot of species, but I'm not gonna make a video on a species until I've spawned it and raised a fry to adults at least once. Hopefully twice. So it's also like I'm actually keeping these, and I want to make videos on species a little less common. So it just takes a while, basically. So like the bivitatum, I could do a video on those. I've bred a bunch of those at this point. Like the dwarf red galars, I bred a good amount of those. I bred enough to take. I think I took 10 pairs to one of my local stores. I feel like that's a pretty good, and that was off of, I collected eggs one day, and then I oversold, and then I ran out of space, and I was like, well, this other guy's breeding them way better than me. I don't need to breed them. And then of course he retired, so now I'm trying to get back into them because, like I said, the conservation is like the most attractive part of the hobby. So I was yapping a lot. I'm trying to make sure that was a female. I'm pretty sure it was. The only bad thing about the deli cups is you can't really see through them too well. Videos that I have filmed but not edited. I have a microworm video filmed. I filmed it a while ago. It's probably still fine. I have a CPD video filmed and mostly edited. I just kind of was like, I don't know. I feel like CPDs have been done so much. Like, maybe I'll save that for a rainy day when I'm really lazy, but like, I don't know. I've been filming for aquatic isopod video. It's going to be freshwater aquatic isopods of North America, and then like a semicolon with some kind of like an overview. I want freshwater aquatic isopods of North America to be like a series, so I can go species by species eventually. But this first one is like an overview, history of the taxonomy and stuff like that. So I've been filming for it a lot. I think I now have enough footage where I could make a video. So now it's just finishing up my research. Obviously, it's kind of a more technical topic, so it takes me forever to understand this shit. I made my first short video some weeks ago. It takes some extra time to edit when I'm new to it, I'd say. Cool, I need to, no, they're fun. And, I like longer videos, so it takes even longer to edit them. But alright, I've been yapping. I gotta get to catching, but... So here they are. The top view, it doesn't really tell you too much. Let's put them in the specimen container. Make sure I got a pair. And listen, don't let anyone tell you different. You want to buy younger fish, bro. I'm sick of people thinking you want to buy the bigger fish. Cause it's not even just like lifespan and all that. I'm telling you, bro, it's like when you get like a cat, you want to get a kitten because then you can kind of mold it to fit your lifestyle, train it easier. And I really think fish are the same way. Like, I think a fish that's been sitting around in a tank by itself, maybe, I think they get grumpy, bro. Like, I think that's what happened with these Galaris, maybe. Like, I don't know. So, some fish are unsocialized. But yeah, so that's a female there. And they do actually get some color in their fins. But we're looking at the shape. So you can see, even at a small size, this guy, it's got the fins coming in. And it's looking pretty good. So that's a pair. I'll bag those separately. I think some killifish technically you could bag together if they're nicer, but like realistically, best practice for killifish is you bag the male and female separately. Some species, they will still try and mate in the bag or they'll just because they're in a small bag doesn't mean they can't be aggressive towards each other. So you definitely want to bag them separately, in my opinion. But you'll see the videos of them coming in, and it's like 30 of the straws in one bag. I just cringe. I'm like, that's terrible, bro. That's terrible. So I need to find my deli lids, because these guys, they're not the worst jumpers in normal circumstances. I mean, all killifish, get the disclaimer of being a jumper. But like when catching to be bagged and stuff, I put the lid on, okay? I found them on the floor too many times when I looked away. And bro, there's nothing like seeing like a one of the dwarf red galaris bouncing around on the floor. Like, bro, are you kidding me, dog? Really? I agree, conservation is important and it feels good. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the hobby is like breeding's the fun part, because that's just what I enjoy. But I mean, I enjoy the keeping part. Like, that's why you don't see like tanks I'm breeding stuff in. Not too many of them after a while look like those bare breeding tanks, because I just don't enjoy that. I do actually like keeping the fish. It's not just about making more, but it's also about like connecting with the reality. I feel like, especially with the isopods, like I'm trying to do with my next video, I want to help people understand more about them, where they are, the fact that they're all around us, because I want them to care more about the environment around them. Because, oh, these isopods I think are so cool, like, wow, they're actually right outside. But at the same time, I don't want people to like just start pillaging their local creeks and streams looking for them. I don't think that'll happen, because it hasn't really happened for other, like, bro, I would never go out looking for isopods unless I was making a video to document them in nature. I would just buy them. So I think most people are like that. But I just don't want to be... aquatic isopods, frankly, are just kind of trendy right now. I don't want to be a part of any negative, trend of, oh, I just found, some of them are endangered species. Luckily, when something's endangered, that means someone actually found it and documented where it is, usually. So you can avoid those. But, like, there's a lot of ways it could go wrong with the isopods. Watching my goldfish grow just makes me feel like a proud father. Yeah, dude, that's why I was... Bro, I don't know. You probably noticed. I almost started crying the other stream. I was talking about that one fish, because, like, bro, it just is nice to take care of something. And I think there's a lot to learn from breeding stuff and raising it up. And it just gives you a lot of appreciation for different things. All right. So what should we catch next? 1 second. You guys are going up against the tank while I check what I had written down that I wanted to catch. How long do killifish live? So killifish, the length of life is really like a big misconception. There are annuals, but even the annuals, if you're not breeding them heavily, if they're not in super hot water, I've heard regularly of annuals living 3 years. Actually, I was listening to a watercolors aquarium podcast today, and the killie guy they had on there, the one thing he said was like, yeah, the reason they're annuals is because in nature the water dries up where they are and they die. But it doesn't necessarily mean that's just how long they can live, I've definitely met several people that had annuals live 2 to 3 years. But you have to know, like, breeding thing shortens their lifespan significantly. Males and females, but females especially, and most people keep killifish in pairs. So usually the female is getting it's a lot of energy. So that's one thing that's shortening the lifespan. But anyways, the semi-annuals, yeah, they'll live the same length as a lot of other normal aquarium fish, like 2 to 5 years, when taken care of. Life cycle of the killifish? Sure, so killifish, they're really interesting. Basically, one of their special things they can do is their eggs can suspend development. It's called diapause. So that way, when the stream or whatever they're in, if it dries up, the eggs can kind of pause development, wait for it to be favorable conditions again. It rains, and then they immediately hatch, kind of a thing. So I mean, they're normal fish. They just kind of have this ability to let their eggs be in the damp substrate for months at a time, even like a year plus for some of them, like brine shrimp. Yeah. And the annuals, they're especially those. The semi-annuals, they do have those properties too, but you can water incubate them. Oh look, one of the cribs just came and said hi. Well, this is kind of cool. I should just stream like this with my phone up against the tank. That's a good background. Anyways, if you don't have cribs and you're looking for a dwarf cichlid, Pelvicochromis cribensis, don't get Pulcher. You got to get one of the new trendy ones. Pelvicochromis cribensis with a good location point. Maliwe. What's the other one I like? Lobe, L-O-B-E. Pelvicochromis Drachenfelsii is one that has become kind of one I have a decent colony of. I'm trying to get my second generation to go. I think I have them too tight together. I need to separate them in pairs. But yeah, they're very pretty fish. Very pretty fish. Oh, there goes a female killifish. Anyways. So yeah, killifish are really cool like that. Since they live in these temporary ponds and stuff, they can jump. And they can kind of wiggle and jump across the ground in case they're, trying to make it to the water source. They also just jump like any other fish to escape being chased. So the females, often when I've had killifish jumping, it's usually female for the species where the male's more aggressive because, it's chasing her. They got nowhere to go. She jumps out. Even if you have it heavily planted and stuff. There's one thing I said, like why I like rock piles for keeping shrimp and stuff safe in community tanks is because like a fish, if it's too big, it can't fit in the rocks. Some fish, like killifish, are pretty good at going in plants and stuff and finding things. And if you got a killifish to eat shrimp, they, as soon as they decide that they like to eat shrimp, and I keep a lot of shrimp with killifish, but especially the wild caught ones, they start eating shrimp, they'll never stop. They'll hunt them all down. If they're in plants, it's not going to save them. Some breeders of annual species put eggs in cool temps to slow down development for storage. Yep. I've been keeping a lot of fish cooler. I've been messing with that, but definitely, with shorter lived fish, there's really no reason to keep them 78 degrees. They're going to spawn and grow fine at lower temperatures. Some of the killifish, like the Fulgens or Aphysimian Georgiae, like they need cooler temperatures, like low 70s, I believe, to high 60s to spawn. So killifish are also good for that reason. They're just very adaptable, very hardy. It's like they deal with way worse shit in nature, so your aquarium's probably fine. It's sparkling water, by the way. No catching fish while drinking. Alright, which fish should I catch next? I don't feel like hating my life and going to the garage tank. I have kind of a catch-all tank in the garage, and there's a lot of stuff I should probably get rid of. Or just move. Like, there's some guppies that are just getting chewed up because, I put the split-fin goodeids in there, the Zenatoka dodorai. And I knew it would be a problem, but I didn't have any option. But there's pretty cool-looking guppies. But if I go out there, we're going to be out there for a bit. And I'm just going to be catching guppies, and then catching the Zenatoka to put in the auction. And the guppies to put in the tank inside to, not be harassed. So I don't know if... Maybe I'll do let's catch some least killifish real quick before we even think about that. So that's going to be the same tank that the Japan Blues were. I was thinking about doing a pair of Gilberti, but too many people ask me about those. I'm going to hold on to those and just breed a bunch. There's so many nice killies. They sell so easy, but can be tricky to learn to breed. Yeah. Really recommend Aphyosemians. Love Aphyosemians. I think the easiest killifish to breed, which I messed up with, I loved it. It was it was the first killifish I had a lot of success with. Aphyosemian gaboins. Very easy fish to breed. They don't really eat their fry at all. I just had them in a 20 high. I think there were sparkling gourami in there, and pea puffers maybe. But the pea puffers were in there for a bit at some point. Anyways, bunch of fry showing up. It was one of the only times I've really experienced, like, oh, you put a cup, siphon up the top, and like, you're bound to find fry. So like if you're new and you want to breed a killifish, Aphyosemian gaboins is pretty easy. Aphyosemian bivitum funge is really easy. I think those are both good. Gardener eye is like a good one. It's pretty and stuff. I just think that's a fish that you can't keep with everything. Like depending on which gardener eye personality you end up with, like sometimes you can keep them with guppies and stuff. Other times it's a problem. So I actually don't recommend gardener eye as a beginner killifish if you want to do a community tank with smaller stuff in it or more delicate stuff. I would go with the Aphyosemian, in my opinion. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden, so you have to excuse me for now. You're fine, bro. Hey, you're over in Sweden, then you probably know way more about killifish than me. That's no wonder you said that the Amietti were common. I'm so jealous of the killifish you guys got out there. It's like I gotta go to these events or some kind of struggle just to get to the cool stuff. The coolest one I got right now that I'm trying to do is a Aphyosemian Hera. But my eggs I ordered, I got a bunch of males, so fingers crossed. And then the Procatopus similis, but I think I've cracked those. I'm excited. I got a lot of fry right now. I'm excited. Okay, let me catch these least killifish. Let's look at the phone camera. Do we see any least killifish? Okay, see that on the left. I'm looking at the replay. There was one. So, and you see that male Japan blue with the crooked spine I was talking about? I think he came like that. I think he was actually extra. So I think the guy was just like, I had this extra like coal male that's old. I'll throw him in there. The least killifish, they're not actually killifish. They're live bear. They have that like black spot. That's showed up. The males have a pretty obvious gonopodium. Like, actually, the one that was just chased away right there, that was a male. So, okay. Let me go up and grab them. We're lucky to have our European breeders over there. Yeah, I mean, the Europeans, in case people didn't know, they're like, for some reason, miles ahead. And so, oh, look, there's a Gilberti. What are you doing in there? I need to catch her, actually. I need to put her with a male. That looked like a giant female Gilberti, bro. These guys are everywhere, dog. I'm telling you. Everywhere. Aphyosemian Hera is a threatened species nowadays? Damn. There's someone over here that's breeding them a decent amount because they list them on Aquabid regularly. I think I just had them in the setup. I was trying to do it where like the fry show up. I think they weren't spawning in the mops that I made. So I think that's part of what's been making it harder. And then one of the pairs I got was wild caught. The one female was funky. She got skinny. I treated her. Didn't seem to do too much. I don't know if she's still in there. So it's just dealing with that kind of stuff. But hopefully I'll get some fry here. I got them in a 5-gallon that I've just filled up with moss. And I'll probably keep them there for a little bit longer. I've been feeding them super well. I think that's the biggest improvement I've done recently. I've been feeding more, mostly because I've been around. There was the month before I was so busy I couldn't feed as much as I think I really needed to. And with the killifish, if you keep them fed, like, they're not going to eat as many fry. So, all right. KFN, the Killifish Netherlands, have their annual exhibition started today. I would love to be there. Oh, damn, bro. Come on, man. Figure out international shipping. Help a brother out. Alright, let's get these guys. I guess I'll do like a trio of the least killifish. I feel like people usually do trios of them. So. Let me see if I can find them. Get my light. Ugh. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of them in there actually. There's a bunch of little ones. I'm trying to see the angle. But they're kind of hanging out at the bottom. But yeah, some of these the Japan blues are looking promising. Oh, man. I love watching I don't know why, I just like watching the footage of them. Even though I could just go up there and look at them. Okay. I think I'm just gonna do a group of the least killifish, but I don't feel like taking my time. I don't feel like taking my time. Like, I'll just do like a group, and if it's not immediately apparent the sexing, I'll just say it's an unsexed group. That's totally fine with me. Saves me the trouble. I'll do a group of like 6 or 7. Maybe. Yeah, these nets are just too slow. I do like them. Like I'll find a use for them, but they're just a little bit too slow to be like my go-tos. Some of my friends are there. Hopefully they've been on fish auction. Are you getting more females than males? I don't know. We're gonna find out. What's the temp? Room temp. All my pretty much all my tanks are room temperature. So let's see what the temp is. Laser says 71 degrees. I don't know, actually that's way colder than I expected. I think it's because I don't have a light on it right now. I've been moving the lights around. I'm trying to find them because the guppies are like all in the way. Ah, there's one. Just want 1 or 2 more. Ah. Why did I get the circular net, bro? That's my problem. I got the circular net and then my handle is set to be too long. Okay, there's 2 more. 2 more. Can I tell what they are? I cannot tell what they are. We're gonna have to go to the specimen container. I'm actually gonna, maybe I'll do 2 groups of them while I'm at it. So you might notice with this that there's a lot of decaying plant matter floating around, and I'll tell you why in a second. But there's a reason for it, and it's intentional. I gotta get a square net, bro. It's so hard to get the corners of this thing. But yeah, so our friends getting more females when having cold water. Perhaps try 76 in one tank or a bit warmer. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's why I thought the cold water would give me more females than I got. But yeah, you notice a bunch of decaying plant stuff. So speaking of easy things to do, what I've been doing to get rid of my duckweed or any floating plant easily. I mean, first of all, let's be honest. It's not that hard to get a big net and just net the entire surface of your tank. Okay, it's not that hard. Now, it is hard if you breed stuff in there and you're just paranoid and you don't have a place to dump the plants to let whatever's in. But here's the easy way. Fill up your tank very, very high until the water touches the lid. That way the lid is forcing the plants to be underwater and they'll all die. There you go. Get rid of your duckweed. Easy peasy. I'm just lazy, so that's how I deal with it. Now, on tanks I'm willing to spend a little bit more time on. I might go in with a net and like mess around, but on tanks where I just don't have time to mess around with, I just fill up the tank until the water touches the lid. Takes care of it for me. Yeah, that could be different depending on the species, the sex ratio for temperature. The sex ratio stuff for temperature is pretty interesting. It's hard to know what's broadly applicable and what's species specific. When I did the Gabuins, it was definitely like almost all female, so it worked for that one. All right, so let's see. All the bigger ones were like hiding. I gotta turn around because the light is like behind it, so it's blowing it out. I want to be able to see what's going on. So, where are the fish? Can this thing focus closer? So that would make it. Alright. Ah! There we go. Now they're showing up. Where's my light? Where's my light? It's up the ladder where I left it. Yeah. So if I can sex them and I have 2 females, I'll do like 2 pairs or 2 trios, whatever. Ooh, I bred Riverless Syphilis. I got more females from Colt. Bro, the Riverless is like on my list. Like the Zifidus something with the CRIQUE. It's on Aquabid. I think they bid that joint up to $100 for a pair. It's wild. I have enough killifish for now that I'm not dying to spend that much money on them. But okay, let's see what we can see about the sex of these least killifish. And starting with over here, this guy down a podium is pretty obvious on that big one. And that's a male. And I want to say that I need to stop looking at the freaking iPhone and use my real life eyes. But yeah, we're looking at, I think the big one's a male. He's got like actually like a little yellow thing on his dorsal. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. To be honest, bro, I think, okay, yeah, that's a female. So I got 1 male, I got 1 female. I think the other 2 might be females. Now that I'm looking. If you're ever trying to figure out how to sex a fish, this is what I do. I go to the fish store, and I literally stand in front of the tank for like an hour. I mean, like, you look long enough for a lot of fish, you can tell the difference. I just haven't looked at these guys in a while, and they're still a little small. But it looks like I got one male and then 4 females maybe. Yeah, these are all looking like females to me. I'm gonna try and put the phone close again, but it just doesn't know what to focus on, man. I don't know what's up with it. This remote phone video mode needs some work. But you can, what I'm seeing, and I'll describe, is the male, like, it has the obvious gonopodium, and then the other 3, where the gonopodium would be, they like have a totally different like little fin underneath there, that you just can't see on the other guy. So we'll just call this a one male, 3 female. What I like doing is for these auctions, there's a lot of people that go, part of the fun of the auction, right, is you look at the bags ahead of time, ahead of bidding, right? So it's important to do that, because if you look at the listing, they might not have the photo of the actual fish, etc., etc. Also, the condition of the fish could be different by the time they get there, frankly. Yep, zividas are very pretty. There they are. Small fish. Yeah, they get, the bigger ones were all like too smart to be where I was catching. But one thing I like doing is I always put in extra of a fish when I can, because then people, it's like a fun thing. It's like they're looking at the bags, like they're getting rewarded for actually looking at the bags ahead of time, because if you don't look at the title, you might be thinking you're bidding on 3 fish, but if you looked at the bag, you know that you're actually bidding on 5 fish, which it could make a difference for your strategy, how far you're willing to take it, especially if there's a favorable sex ratio. So I just kind of like making the auctions more fun in my own little way. When I can, for stuff like this, I usually put in more than is listed. So I'll probably list this as like 1 male, 3 females or whatever, and then, but also then it's nice because then the auctioneer, he reads a lot. He's like, oh, it's 3-3, and then he looks on the back. He's like, wait, hold up, it's 4. And it just like, it helps them out, have something to hype up about the bag, you know, because in theory, a lot of the proceeds go to the clubs. I think this one is actually really nice. I think the club only gets $1 per bag, which is pretty crazy. Most clubs take like 30%, 25%. But you know, anything you can do to make it easier for them to sell it to people, and faster to sell it. There's nothing worse at the auction when the guy's like, come on, peacock cichlid, anyone want it? $1, $1, okay, 50 cents, anyone want it? Yellow lab, anyone want it? It's like depressing. It's like, bro, I almost want to buy it just so we can move on from this moment. I'll tell you, dog, the African cichlids, like the old school African cichlids, have been getting no love at the auctions I've been going to. They've been practically begging people to buy them. And there's some like nice expensive fish. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that they are, and a lot of people like me are just not interested. You could always leave contact info. A lot of the clubs, they require you to leave certain info, like your email. And a lot of businesses, or people that have small businesses, they do usually like write their little business. So a lot of people do use it to advertise the fish they have for sale. Here's my thing, which I realized. As I breed stuff, as I have excess fish, I'm not really going to promote what I'm selling too much, because, to be brutally honest, I want it to be as inaccessible as possible. Like, my experience selling like on platforms where it's easy to find, I'm sorry, bro, it's just like the stupidest people are, and I'm doing this like, you know, for fun and for selling, but like, since I'm the one selling the fish, like, listen, I don't want to deal with people I gotta hold their hands all the time. Like, I'm fine with answering a few questions, but like, if you've done zero work and you're asking me something so basic that I'm like, dog, for like, I don't want to deal with that. So what's been nice with like selling stuff off my website is, since I don't really promote it super heavily, most of the people that order off of there are already like, it's a filtering process. They're already a little bit more willing to search for things and stuff like that. So they turn out to be nice. Things like eBay and stuff like that, I'm just dealing with absolute morons, and I will keep my website or whatever I'm selling as low key as possible, because I don't want to sell to as many people as possible. I want to sell to the people who are competent and are not going to be a pain to work with. So over here are all the clubs that use contact info on bags so buyer can reach the seller. Yep. It's similar like that over here. People, well, and listen, if this person sees this, no offense. If you think I'm talking about you, I'm not, because it's happened to me many times. But okay, I sell isopods on eBay. I sell it under in my tanks. So already, it seems pretty obvious it's me, because how many other people are selling aquatic isopods under in my tanks? Not only that, in the listing I link the YouTube video, but constantly people are asking me, oh, are you the same in my tanks as on YouTube? Alright, that's fine. Yeah, it's me. Then they always follow up with questions that should have been answered by either of my videos on isopods or just a Google search. And it does make me concerned, because I'm like, dog, how do you recognize me from YouTube? Like, you watched the video, but then you're asking me like the most basic question. And that's what I hate about selling on eBay, is like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, no, I'm not sorry. Like, the people that buy the stuff from me on eBay, it's too accessible. So like, even the idiots can find it. And like, I unapologetically say that, because some of the stuff I had to put up with, you would not even believe. And I don't even sell a lot of stuff. So that's why I could never deal in mass with like trying to sell to as many people as possible. I just want people that are passionate about isopods like me and like to read. They won't watch the video or read the item description. Yeah, like, I'll sell stuff on Aquaswap. People ask me, how much is this? How much is that? On Aquaswap, you're like required to put in the title how much stuff is. All the information is there, and they don't even read it. So it's like, look, dog, I've had people be like, oh, why don't you like link this and make it easier to find, whatever. I'm like, no, bro. I make it hard to find this shit I'm selling on purpose, because my long-term plans, like, if I keep breeding stuff and I have too many and I want to sell it, like, you're not going to see on my YouTube me say, hey guys, go check out XYZ website and buy this fish or whatever, you know? Not going to happen, because I don't want to deal with I like the filtering process of, you have to actually be willing to look stuff up and read to find where I'm selling things. And if you make stuff too easy, that's the same reason why I don't do like specific parameters. You're not going to see that in my videos. I don't do time codes in my species videos, because people just want to skip to the parameter thing, and I'm designing my video to be watched all the way through, and everything builds on each other. So if you just go in and watch one parameter thing, you could be missing a very key thing earlier on in the video that could impact actually what parameters you want to put them in. So you just skip and you say, oh, 7 to 8. But like maybe earlier it's like, well, later I'm going to say 7 to 8. But if you're trying to do this goal, then you really want it to be 6, you know? A proper hermit in the making? Yeah. I get it from my dad. I just don't like dealing with silly stuff. Alright. I'm yapping too long about who knows what. So here are our least killy fish. We got 4. I think it's 1 male and 3 females. And the females do get pretty sizable relatively, but I mean, yeah, if you're not familiar with least killy fish, I believe they're the smallest live bearer fish. Pretty cool. You know, hard, easy to keep, all those things. I do enjoy them quite a bit, and that's why I have them. Item description when selling killie eggs is always, I can't guarantee hatching rate or gender rate. Yep. So that's another thing, is people, when you make things too accessible and you're dealing with idiots, people look at fish as products. They want to be mad when the fish doesn't act the way that it's supposed to. It changes how it looks. Maybe that's actually it just changes. They want to be mad when a living thing does stuff that living things do. It's like not in your control. It's like, dog, bro, like, hatching rate or gender rate or whatever with the eggs, like, how you gonna be mad at me if I'm not going in and using CRISPR and making all the killifish eggs males. Like, and no, it's true that, like, when you're breeding cool stuff and you're selling it and it's nice, like, you don't really need, unless you're trying, again, to sell to the masses, which I would never want to do, because selling is never my main motivation for keeping or breeding a fish, because, again, this is my hobby. Like, I don't play video games or anything. This is, like, has replaced that to me, so it's legitimately what I do for fun. But you don't really have to do too much, because if you're breeding stuff that people want, people will definitely hear that you have it, especially if it's not as common, and they will find you. They will find you. Oh gosh. So what I'm actually hoping to do, like, just to, well, okay, what fish am I catching next before I talk forever? I think I was gonna do some rice fish. They're not really coals. It's just that, like, I have more than I need right now. So maybe I'll do some rice fish. Those shouldn't be hard to catch. But what I'm planning to do, and you can't be sure that buyers having an okay water tank or condition, experienced buyers or sellers know this. Yes. So I think if you're breeding stuff mostly for fun, but you do want to make a significant amount of money out of it, I would not chase the masses or selling things quickly. I would just try and filter people as much as possible. Make your, like, even just selling on Aquabid, honestly, is a pretty decent filter. I mean, a lot of people know about it, but still, that's another level of, like, you're willing to navigate this ancient website. You probably have read at least something about a fish at some point, I would hope. I don't keep killifish, but your live streams are interesting to watch. I really appreciate that. I'm glad it's not too boring for you. Oh, but this is like my plan. And again, I'm pretty new. I'm not like a successful breeder or anything. Like, let me just put that disclaimer out there. I don't think I necessarily know a lot about anything. But if I ever have success with a cool fish, I've already decided that, like, selling a lot of them, like any kind of wholesale thing to another hobbyist, I'm not interested in doing. One, it's too much work. Two, I'd rather just list it wherever I'm selling them, and if you want to buy them off of there. Like, I don't want to do this, like, obviously, like, people I'm friends with, like, yeah, we're gonna trade fish and stuff, but, like, I want to just be able to just list whatever I want to sell wherever I'm selling it, auctions, and that's where you buy, because I don't want to deal with people hitting me up for stuff. And again, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I breeded all these cool fish, people hitting me up, because that's not the case. But if I ever were successful with a cool fish, that's the case, I just want to be able to be like, look, you want to buy it, here's where you buy it. But, like, the other thing I have planned is, like, if I did breed, like, on Aquabid, I suggest you watch the feedback and stats before buying from a seller you don't know. Yeah, Aquabid is nice, because a lot of the good sellers have been selling on there forever, so, especially with the killifish, I definitely have the people that I want to buy from. But the killifish community is so small, like, I usually know someone that actually knows who that person is in real life, and I can ask them, or I know someone who's ordered from them before, so that's what's nice about going to clubs and getting to know people, is, like, you learn the fish world is so tiny, like, you can actually be like, this seems like an obscure listing on Aquabid, but I actually know someone that probably knows who that is in real life. But yeah, I was saying, like, say I breed 200 Elasoma gilberti. We're talking about a fish that is experiencing extreme price gouging. Like, first of all, I don't know why everyone's importing them from Europe. They're native fish, whatever. I guess no one's bred them, or the people in Florida don't feel like catching them, but, like, charging $40 for that fish, I'm sorry. That's crazy. Especially when they have 200 in stock. Like Dan's Fish is 200 in stock. They're charging for 40 each. They imported them from Europe. Keep them, bro. We don't need Elisoma Everglade at $40 a fish. Like, keep them. Honestly. But if I were to, say, breed more Gilberti, like, I have a decent amount, but I wouldn't say I have hundreds. But if I were to breed hundreds, there is, like, several people that want to buy them from me. Some of them want to breed them. Some of them are, like, breeders that have stores. And here's the thing. I just don't want to deal with it. First of all, I don't want to deal with the pressure of, like, you're asking me for 40 of them. I got to go catch 40. Like, I just want to list what I have when I have it. So here's my plan for that. And if any of my friends that are doing the wholesale thing, like, I'm not saying you can't convince me to do it, but I'm saying that this is probably my plan. I'm going to get an exclusive wholesale agreement with someone. I don't care who it is. It could be a store. It could be whatever. I'm not showing my cards. I might even just lie. But I'm just going to tell people, look, I am legally not allowed to sell more than this amount of fish at a time unless in an auction or less on my website XYZ. Because, bro, like, it's too much. It's too much. I just can't. I don't have the time to do that level of customer service. I'll be honest. So, like, on the off chance I ever make a bunch of a fish, I just want to already have an agreement with someone that if I need to wholesale something, I'm only doing it through them. And that way, if people ask me about it, I can just say, look, sorry, under contract. And then I can just live my life. And if they ask who, I can say, sorry, NDA. I'm not below that, bro. Like, I'm a hermit in the making is right. Like, I'm a pretty friendly person, but, like, definitely recently, it's been too many people wasting my time. Like, I like helping people with fish and stuff, but you gotta learn to walk at some point, right? All right, enough of me being a grouchy hermit. Okay, let's decide where we're catching. So far, we got a group of fleece killifish. We got a pair of Aphyosemium vividatum funge. It's pros and cons with every situation. Yeah. And that's why it's like, no, I'm not saying that I would never do that, but I'm just saying I'm going to have an answer ready so I don't have to, like, because some of the situations, bro, it's hard, like, especially when you're friends with people, they want to buy a fish from you. All right. Your friend wants to buy a fish with you. You have a billion fish, they have a billion fish. Depending on your level of friendship, it's going to go a couple ways. One, you already know they have something you want, you're going to swap. Cool. Okay. Usually they just offer that. If they're coming up, they're saying, I want to buy them from you. Okay. I already have a problem. Why do I have a problem? Frankly, you didn't tell me how much you're willing to buy them for. So they always want to put it on you, and it's someone you're friendly with. They want to say, I want to buy these off of you. How can I buy them from you? They want to put it on you to put the price. I'll be honest. This may sound lazy, but I'm not willing to put in the brain power to price my fish unless I'm listing them somewhere for sale. I'm just being honest. I'm not willing to do that. I understand haggling. You're gonna have to just ask me with how much you want to buy them for, because, like, I'm not gonna sit here, especially if you're friends. Like, bro, you're putting it on me. Now you're my friend. Like, I don't want to say it's a price and you get offended. Like, bro, if you're trying to buy fish from your friend and actually pay them money, please just offer them an amount. Okay? I know it's hard, and that's why it's rude of you to put it on your friend to be the one to come up with a price. If they're already selling it, then now you're asking them to give you a different price than what you already know they're selling it for. Because you're like, oh, how much, can I get these from you for whatever amount? But if they're not already selling it, then now you're asking them to make up a price for their friend. Bro, at least give a starting point. Or a lot of my good friends, they just say, hey, I have this pair of killifish. Would you be willing to trade them for that fish you have? I'm like, oh yeah, bro, I've been wanting that fish for you forever. Done. To me, that's how you, hey, would you take $40 for this fish? Would you take $5 for this fish? Yeah, I'll take 5. And can I have some of that dwarf chain sword? John, I'm talking to you. I want some of that dwarf chain sword, bro. The Gilberti price will go down. I'm patient. Yes, I agree. And but that's why it's like, bro, why are you gonna bring 200? Like, we don't need 200 Elisoma Everglade at $40 each right now. We can wait a few months for them, bro. Like, order something. I don't know, bro. Order some neon Tetris, whatever you gotta do. I'm sure you could find something else. But wait and see the next hurricane. That $40 might be a steal. Yeah. I feel like I saw a pair go on Aquabid at like a low time for like $100 or something. Crazy, bro. Crazy. I put them in the auction for BAP. I've sold a pair here or there, but like I've just been keeping. I like the fish. I just haven't been like, oh, I want to make as many as possible to sell it. That's the thing. If I was motivated by money, I've had the Elisoma Gilberti for almost a year now. I could have made hundreds of them and just sold them at egregious prices. But that just doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. I'm sorry, it doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. I let them do their thing. They make more of themselves. Now, enough people have asked me for them, and the prices are so horrendous that I have paired a bunch off, and I will breed some with the intention to sell them. But, oh, Jonah's Aquarium, I think I saw him comment on a Facebook thing that they had Elisoma Evergladii for $10 each, maybe? So I should have mentioned that. Let me see. Or that they will have them. I don't think they had listed them. I think it was like an email thing. So I'm gonna put that link in the chat just in case you're in the US and interested in Elisoma. I don't think they necessarily have this listed yet, but I did see on Facebook he said that they would have Gilberti soon and that they had Evergladi at 10 each. So Gilberti were $50 from a Czech breeder here 5 years ago. I haven't seen them wholesale. Wow. Yeah. I mean, apparently the people ordering them over here, getting them from Europe, I don't know what's going on, bro. All I know is I'm in favor of fish being expensive. I think things being expensive enough, you have to think about it before you buy it so you don't just slaughter it. It's good. So at the end of the day, a fish can be as much as you price it. I think that's totally fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. I don't think there's any reason the fish has to be cheap. I just know that there's prices that I'm just not going to buy a fish at. I think I bought my original group of Elisoma Gilberti for like, I think I got 10 of them. I got off some guy on Facebook, and I think it was like 115 something I paid, somewhere around there. It definitely wasn't like the cheapest thing ever, but no, it was not $40 a fish. Oh, hell no. Bro, I buy a pair of Sinepa Reds or something with that money, bro. $40 a fish? My God. Check, we need the Florida chameleon farmers to start farming Gilberti. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, the people in Florida, like, I mean, again, like like I said earlier, the weather is definitely a big challenge. I do know some of the places, some are not the easiest to collect. Okay. So, you guys decide. So we've got a group of least killifish. We've got a pair of Aphyosemium vivitanum funge. And let me real quick. I'm gonna put the Aphyosemium male and female in a different container. But next, this is what we can do next. We can either catch a pair of my Aquarium strain Crebensis. I don't necessarily want to do because I'm lazy. We could catch 3 albino plecos, lemon plecos, or we could go to the garage. I could catch some Zenatoka dodori and try and get all the guppies out of there that are getting their fins decimated by them. You guys decide. Good. I find this funny, MIT, like, I don't want to have to haggle prices, the comments, and start haggling. No. I'm fine with haggling. You just have to start it off, because haggling is easy once someone's made an offer. the initial offer is the hard part you have to think about. The dynamic is also more complicated if you're friendly with the person, because haggling is ultimately about getting a good deal, not necessarily mutually beneficial. But if you're friends, usually that's the goal. But sometimes people have different ideas of what is fair. So if I'm paying more than $30 for a fish, it better be super fancy. For individual fish, yeah, I don't think Soma's worth it at $40 a fish, honestly. Especially for most people, I wouldn't say it's a hard fish to keep, but like, do I think the average person is gonna get much enjoyment out of keeping them? No, honestly. These people are trying to find any reason to justify not changing their tank's water for 5 years. I just think the average person is way too lazy, and I say that as an extremely lazy person. It's not a hard fish to keep, but you do gotta feed it live and frozen food. And if you want to see it regularly, you gotta have your tank set up the right way. I see my Soma quite often when I have them in environments that they like. I see them all the time. The male will come, and I say he yells at me. He'll come and show off at me and do his dance, but the price doesn't bother me usually at all. If I wanted them, my demand will be high. I'll get it regardless what they cost. Well, it depends. If the fish is going to be this price forever, yes. Soma, as said earlier, I already know that someone's going to be selling them for $10 a piece in a bit, so I can wait. So when I say a fish price isn't worth it for me, it's not that I don't think you should never pay that price for the fish. It just means I'm patient enough that I know it'll go down. Like, for instance, the purple finned hillstream loaches, a lot of places initially selling them $100 each, $80 each. The Bloody Marys, those were expensive. I can find both of those in local stores near me for $30 now. I might actually buy them soon. My store, one of my local stores, is supposed to get the pseudogastromyzon leticeps, the purple fin ones, and I might buy them. They're gonna be $30 each. But I was willing to wait for the price to drop for that one. $80 wasn't worth it, because I knew the hill streams are just kind of, there's a new one every week. So you wait, the price is going to come down pretty quick. Sometimes it's better to sell for a lower price in 2 years' time. It might be yourself needing a male, female, the fish you're selling happen. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. I'm going to catch those rice fish. You guys got to, bro, I have to catch stuff. You can't just let me. I'm literally making an ass of myself the more I talk. It's really not ideal. But hey, I am who I am, I guess. But basically, what was I saying? I think it was a response to what Nick was saying. Oh, I'm trying to learn my lesson because I've oversold, or like I've been too confident, and I've not been able to maintain a fish because I didn't have enough of both sexes. So, with the strawberry beta, the beta abelmargia rhythm, I don't know, bro. You guys know that these names are kicking my ass every day. I'm having success breeding them, right? I think I've got 2 spawns, and I didn't realize they happened, so they were like in with the parents. I think some got 8 or whatever. But I've got like over a dozen or so fry, and the male's holding eggs right now. So part of me is like, well, I could put some of these juveniles in an auction or something. But I've learned from past mistakes. I'm not selling a single one of these fish. I might do 4 for my BAT program and make the minimum bid high, so I can still get my points, but they don't necessarily sell unless it's worth it. But I'm gonna raise these up. They're F1s. Their parents were wild caught. Let me raise them up, especially since the males can get overbred. And let's just keep it going. Let me get one more generation before I start selling. So that's where I think it comes in. They talk about like breeding a fish is easy, keeping it for generations is hard. I'm trying to do better at that, so I'm not gonna just immediately sell the first time I have a successful spawn. I'm gonna hold on to them. they're growing pretty fast. So once I'm able to sex them, I just need with them you need more males because the males carry the eggs in their mouth. They can't eat, and the females can overbreed them, which, you know, ironic because usually we're worrying about the females being overbred by the males. Revenge, man. Revenge. Alright, let me get mine. Where's my collection cup? I didn't do it in time, but I was thinking about trying to get my, because I had to separate that male and female dwarf red Galaris, but part of me almost wants to reunite them tonight, because I guess if I got some eggs, I could sell some eggs. Well, I think Galaris eggs got to be some of the worst ones to buy. They have so many infertile eggs that I probably wouldn't buy them at an auction, especially not from me, but that's what's good in a club. You never know how successful other breeders. Yep. Truth, congratulations on the strawberries, thank you. And that's what's nice about having friends and trading fish with them, is because, you know, there have been times I've messed up with a fish, but I traded them with a friend, so they had it. They're able to give you back a male and female. My friend Aaron, he messed up with the Gilberti. He ran out of males. I was able to help a brother out, get the Gilberti going again. So it's good to trade fish with your friends. And I don't believe like hoarding. I don't ever care about competition. Like, oh, I don't want to sell this person a pair. They're gonna breed them. Like, bro, if you're worried about competition, then you just don't. First of all, it's not that serious. Okay, like we're all in this together. Fish, good vibes, whatever. But second of all, bro, if you're worried about competition, you just don't believe in yourself. I'm never worried about someone's gonna like outbreed me on something, and that's why I'm not gonna want to sell it. Like, come on. Have a little faith in yourself. Everyone can breed the fish. It's totally fine. All right. Got my net here. Where's my step stool? So these rice fish up here, I was working on. Oh, actually look pretty good. That one does. All right. This is gonna be one of those cases where I'm gonna have to catch them and look at them to see which ones I want to get rid of. But there's some fry from a long-finned orange Medaka project. I'm trying to make a long fin with more lmao, however you say it, lmao. So that's like one group of fry that they didn't have as good of traits as the other ones, but some of them still look pretty nice. That's great to hear, and it's only super important when it comes to threatened species. Yes. With those, you don't want to give to just anyone. Like my Procatopus similis, I don't know that they're a threatened species. I mean, I'm sure many killifish are just by nature of the environment destruction. But I'm finally having success with them. I got a bunch of fry. I think I'm gonna make a lot of them. But one, I'm learning from my mistakes. Even though I have a group of 10 adults, I don't think I'm gonna like lose them all or anything. I've got a good mix. But I like the fish. I care about the fish. So like, am I gonna put in my club auction with a low minimum bid or no minimum bid, so whatever hoarder in the club can buy it, and I'll never see this fish again? Like bro, no offense, there are people that come to the clubs, they buy shit at the auction, they never bring shit to the auction, and you wonder like, how do they have room for all these fish? And they don't seem to be making any fish. So like, bro, with fish that I like, I'm sorry, they're not going into the club auction meat grinder. That minimum bid is going to be high. I'm be submitting them for breeder award points only. Um, Procatopus similis, breed and spread them is not a common fish. No, it's not. Procatopus I have a special interest in. That's the first species I've had a lot of success in, but I can actually show you some of the. I'll show you the fry. But there's some other species of them I want to work with. I do want to spread them, but like you said, it's not a common fish. So I don't want to just sell it to anyone who doesn't appreciate it, and you know, I would hope whoever I'm selling it to has some interest in reproducing them. So, and again, when it comes, like, I'm not worried about competition, especially with fish that aren't that common. Like, bro, there's a huge fish market. If 4 other people were breeding Procatopus similis, I think there'd be plenty of market space for them. But do I think they can breed them better than me? Maybe if they have a lot more space than me, probably. That's usually the biggest thing. It's like if someone has more money than you, more space than you, they can always make more fish than you. But there are some interesting things about breeding the Procatopus that I do think make it it took me this long to crack them, mostly because just the nature of life and things like that. But there are some weird things with them. Their eggs are really hard, and Mick, you do killifish, the killifish that have those eggs, they're super durable. Sometimes you have issues with them hatching. You gotta do the force hatching. And I think they're definitely one of those that you'll get the eggs that develop fully. I've watched 20 eggs develop fully and never hatch when I was first working with them. So they're easy. I would say they're easy to breed, but everything is easy in theory, Rice fish are not one of the fish that are hard to catch, I'll tell you that. You know what? There's 2 male snakeskin koi guppies in there. I actually don't want them, because the one male I have, those 2 males, they didn't really have the snakeskin pattern. So I'll probably just put them in the auction. Also, I just found blue mystery snail. I'm trying to get my numbers of those up. I'm gonna add this to a tank I can watch more easily. Watch its progress. The nice thing with the mystery snails is you put a dark-footed one with a light-footed one, you're just going to get those 2 colors. So I like painting the blues with the magentas. So I'll get blues, I'll get magentas, and purples. Yeah, I think. Have you ever had to deal with NZMS? Oh, Nick says, yep, I've been there. When I grew, I knew you've been there with the eggs, the force hatching. When I grew rare stem plants, I couldn't sell them local because there wasn't other people that could grow them. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you know something is a little bit more difficult, you don't want to sell them to just anything. Okay, remind me what New Zealand mud snails? No, I haven't had to deal with them yet, but if I had them, I think I would try, since the no planaria works on the MTS, I would try it with them. Many buyers don't care about buying. I mean, I'm trying to think of examples of a harder to keep fish that people want to buy. I mean, Elosoma isn't that hard to keep, but I do think it's it is a little bit more of an interesting fish than usual to be as popular as it is right now. I think that's mostly just because it's small, though, honestly. Any small fish with a remote amount of color right now seems to just be a hit. got one, I got two, I got three. Wait, I'm back. I'm like a completionist. I like trying to get all the fish I'm trying to catch in one net. Even though it'll probably be faster if I just got the ones I had and called it a day. It's just kind of fun. Oh man. I keep losing them in the corner. There we go. One, two. Ah. I'm just gonna have to settle for two. I'll come back for you. I got the two guppies. I'm gonna put them in their own. You never walked eggs, Bob? You never walked some eggs? Is this Pokemon? It actually, like, that's another reason why killifish are cool. I mean, it is pretty much like Pokemon. There's like a million different ones you can have or catch, and sometimes you gotta walk the eggs to get them to hatch. True story. True story. But yeah, there's some rare plants. Also, like people, if you watch Fishery, you might hear he'll regularly mention like he's got plants that he hybridized. You can hybridize aquarium plants, get them to flower, you know, and if you did that, then just by nature that would be a pretty rare plant, right? But I'm not much of a plant person, so I don't really know too much about that kind of stuff. And I'm not that, like, if a plant was cool enough looking but also had a special use to it, or a fish I had like had a special relationship with that plant, then I would be willing to pay a lot for it. But I don't care about plants that much. It's not that I don't like them or I'm like, yeah, kill all the plants. It's just like, no, $100 plant, no, that's probably fine. Bird sniff, I've ran into mud snails before. Damn. Gotta catch 'em all. Okay, so I got two. Oh, I haven't even showed you any of the fish, but okay, you're not gonna really be able to see them, but I got the two male snakeskin guppies that I wanted to get rid of anyway, since I have a better looking male. And I got two of the rice fish, kind of, I want to say coals, because I still think they look pretty nice, but I actually might keep this pale one. Anyways, let me just catch more and then we'll look at it when you can actually see it, because I'm just wasting time at this point. Yeah. I've been wanting to make space in here anyway, because I got some striptosimian that I was growing out from eggs, and I haven't been focusing on them too heavy, so they've been growing like slower, but I think they just grow slower in general. Oh, there's two baby panda Corys in there that I need to get out. There are some eggs that got in there on the plant or something. I should put them with the rest of the fam. This is my panda Cory school. Panda Corys are a fun one. They put their eggs everywhere, bro. I'll have the panda Corys in a tank and like move them over, or I'll move plants from the tank that was in there, and then I'll just like find panda Corys. Okay. So, rice fish, some orange sparkle, medaka. Let me see if I can get these floating plants out of here. And then a light so you can actually see them sparkle a bit. My light. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. So actually, I had the super white ones. I think these must have crossed with. And the ones that, I don't know, they're like not really doing what I need them to do. Actually, the gender ratio, quite honestly, could be wrong. The phone camera is doing the most bizarre shit I've seen in my life right now. Like, I don't know what this thing be doing sometimes. Like, why is it twisting in circles? This is insane. It's actually insanity. I'm having a hard time comprehending this. But anyways, you can see, pretty fish. That's the point. I don't know, bro, what is happening? This is crazy. I'm only harping on it because it's just making me feel like I'm taking drugs or something, because every way I move the camera, it like twists and contorts like some kind of weird voodoo doll. But yeah, got some nice little sparkle there. Shine bright like a diamond, golden. Let me catch a few more, because again, these are just kind of stray rice fish. Auto stabilization go brrr. Panda Corys, that's ones that, yeah, Panda Corys go wild. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I just had a batch hatch, actually. I don't see them. They're in the back of that tank, so I'm not even gonna try. But I have some baby pandas. Ooh, those are nice. Yeah, I think I have some decent Medaka. There's the guy I buy them from. They already come in great. So I'm just trying to work to, you know, put my own spin on it. So I'm trying to do the long fin thing. You can see some of the other breeding stock I need to sort through of them, but here's some of the other ones I got from the side view. They're not, some of them aren't as sparkly because they're long fins, so that's what I'm trying to work with. I'm trying to make the top of their back as sparkly as the other guys. So these guys have some longer fins. I'm making more progress on the amber glitter crosses with the long fins. The orange ones are just being a bit trickier. Yeah, 5 is a good number. I might swap them out for ones that I like less, but these are pretty nice Medaka. I can't decide if I'm gonna bag all these tonight or if I just get them in the containers and tomorrow do some fresh water and bag them in the morning. But I knew if I tried to catch and bag them, that shit would never happen. I'd never get there on time. Okay. 5, I think 5 is a good number for the rice fish. I'm trying to see if I missed one. Mick, you want to see let me know if you want to see the Procatopus. I'm happy to show you what I got going on with those. I'm trying to think. I think we got to go to garage and catch those Zinatoka. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. And you guys can't judge me for the tank that's in there because it's like my catch-all tank as I'm like moving stuff, finding new homes for things. So don't judge me. But we'll be doing a service. I want to, if we go up there to catch the Zinatoka, I want to get maybe two trios of them, and then I think I want to catch all the guppies they've been beating up in there and put them in my grandpa's tank inside so they can heal up and look nice, because there's some cool looking fish in there, honestly. Yes, please. Okay, but before we do that, let me show Mick the Procatopus. Okay, so if you don't know Procatopus, they're lamp-eye killifish. They're really cool. They're a schooling lamp-eye killifish. So in my opinion, they kind of are like rainbow fish if you wanted to like sort the appeal type. They kind of got that subtle luminescence. Not so subtle sometimes. But alright, here's my breeding group of them. I'm trying to bring my laptop so I can tell what you can see. me a sec. So I got them in this 40 breeder here. I'll back up so you can kind of see. So I'm breeding hill streams and super reds in here also. But you can see Procatopus, very pretty fish. And I'll get a light to shine because the phone, like, it's hard to get the reflections like a camera. But they're actually quite colorful, quite luminescent. They got like the light blue shine on them. And then some of those super like dominant males like kind of have that laser going up. Okay. And if you didn't already see, I got fry in here with them. So the thing is, the fry, they always are swimming in the stream. So I grew these fry out a little bit before I put them back in here. But there's maybe about 20 of them in different pockets of the tank. So I might get a little quiet because I'm going to move so you can see the top of the tank. But yeah, this is one that I grew out, the smallest one right there. It looks like it's a male. I grew him out. One of the other guys, there's another one. You see in this corner, you'll see that even in this flow, there's like tiny little fly jumping around. Yeah. So, this is kind of like recent that I kind of cracked the code on them. So I got 20 fry in there with 10 adults. Well, not fry, they're more like juveniles, some of them. Mumbling, I'm not jealous. Nice, those fish are thick. But I just had a little breakthrough. I did an experiment with eggs. I picked 50 eggs. I did something with them, and then I did something else with these other set. And overnight, check this out. So, if you watch my isopod video, this is like the OG isopod tank that started it all. But I also grow fry out in it, so you can see it here. When you look at the top, you'll see that I got some Procatopus fry going. I'm trying to make it so I can see again. So you can see I got a good amount of them in there. This experiment worked. I'm trying to find an angle where you can actually see them. Again, it's easy to find them. It's hard to show them because they like almost exclusively swim in the flow. So like it's hard with the phone. But I would say there's about 10 of them in this corner that I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But then if you go around, there's some up in the plants in that flow too, if you were to look. So I'm pretty excited. Hopefully I keep having success and I can make a good amount of them because it's like my favorite fish. But don't count your eggs or your fry or whatever until they're full grown. So I feel like I finally made progress and I'm gonna have a bunch of them, but then I could like drop arsenic into my fish tank by accident or something. You never know. You absolutely never know. So let me see, what do I need to do? Alright, I need to dump out the water in this collection thing, fill it up with new water, probably get another one, and then we're gonna go to the garage, man. It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set you here. I'll be right back. Let's put in on my shoes. Now I got the shoes up back. Collection cup. open lids on all these before I go. Anything jumping out while we're going? Lids. I need some water. I need a charger for my phone and my computer. They're both dying, of course. Never just be one. It's gotta be both. Streaming just takes up so much battery power. That's the problem. Alright. To the garage we go. And I'm really hoping that this is easier than I'm worried it's going to be. You're just gonna have to deal with being face down for a moment. Wait, I gotta get my phone charger. Then we can go. Hold up. There we go. Gotta get a super long cord so I can actually still show you guys around things. Okay, let me see. Dude, thanks for sharing, no problem. Someone's poisoned the watering hole. Oh God, please no. I forgot the collection container. By the way, this is why I'm doing this now, because like, when I'm trying to catch stuff and go to these events, it's like, oh, I forgot that, oh, I forgot that, oh, I forgot that, oh, I forgot that. It's like, back and forth, killing me. Ada's right at the door because I just went ahead and preemptively locked her out. She doesn't usually really mess with things. She doesn't really show too much interest in the fish. Sometimes when they're in the cup on the floor, I suspect once she knocked the cup over and then ran off. But why take the risk? Also, when it comes to bagging stuff, once she jumped up on the table, landed on a fish bag. You know, cats, sharp claws, poke a hole in the bag. It's kind of a pain. Garage tank. Here we go. So, again, don't judge me for this, but you gotta have a catch-all holding tank if you have a problem getting too many fish. And let me get a chair to prop all this up on. Yeah. Thanks for live. I'm off to bed. Good night, Yuyo. Thanks for dropping by. I know it's late where you are. Bro. Like a broken air pump? Why is that thing so loud? It seems like unnecessarily loud. Alright. So, what we're dealing with here. We're trying to get the two trios of Zenatoka dodori, and we're trying to catch as many guppies as possible out there to save them from the abuse of the Zenatoka dodori. It's been on my to-do list. Do I have plecos? Yes. Currently, I got a good amount of young super reds, some long fin, some short fin, and I got some albinos. I don't know if I actually want to do plecos. Usually there's plenty of plecos in these auctions. So like, after I catch these, we'll take a look at the auction listings and see if there's any holes that I can fill in pause as far as fish go. I'm sure there's some of the stuff we've caught is already in there. Like some people at least killifish and stuff like that, but you never know. All right. So garage tank, a little bit of a catch-all, problem fish that I haven't figured out where I can fit them in different communities, It's actually not very heavily stocked, so it's been pretty easy to maintain. You know, I feed it, and it's covered in floaters and a bunch of guppy grass on the bottom and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely want to work on it. I do want to make it kind of a plant tank over time. I just haven't been able to get to it. And then a lot of my live bears have ended up here because I'm trying to like work on the lines, so coals end up out here, and problematic fish like Xenotoka dodori end up out here. They're not that problematic with things except other live bears I'm trying to breed like guppies. So that's how they ended up here. They're just a little nippy, and I couldn't fit them into anywhere else. But then I put them out here, and I missed a pair of guppies. Now there's a ton of guppies in here, and they're getting beaten up. Bit of a temperature difference from the water I have inside, so I'm just gonna I'll put them in different water when I get inside and let them sit for a bit, but I'm just gonna use the water from the tank for the initial catch. So I'm gonna move the light and we'll take a look at the fish before I start catching, so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Move the light to the front. Maybe not. All right, let's see what we're dealing with. Cool. I bought some Alatoka Tora at the Posilia Library auction here last week. Oh, very cool. There's a guy here the other night who puts their pleco with a paintbrush. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. So, you see, we got some beat up guppies that we need to save. Some guppy endler type stuff. I got the Xenotoka, tons of females. I get heavy females with the Xenotoka. But you can see there's some fancy guppy endlers that have been out here, unbeknownst to me, reproducing. That one actually looks pretty cool. That one doesn't look very beat up, actually, compared to what I was expecting. Oh shit, I forgot to plug my computer and stuff in. This stream was about to go down. It was about to die. Be no fish. When I touch my pleco, he puts out his cheek spines. Be honest, I haven't really gone out of my way to touch my pleco. The neon tetra, I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. That guppy doesn't look too bad as far as being. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Oh, there's some. There's a limia. Periguay. I don't know how to say it. So sheesh. So many females in it, and there's females in Atoka, and then my grandpa's tank inside that are huge, absolutely massive. That I would love to rehome. But let's see what we can catch here. I'll go for the targets first. Like, let me get the Xenotoka out the way. Xenotoka are a 2-net fish. They're very smart. Xenotoka dodori, they're like cats, bro. They're very smart, very annoying. So, for me, that's a 2-net fish. Everything else we got to this point have been 1-net fish. But these guys, they tend to be a little tricky. Luckily though, I haven't messed with them in a while, so I really do find fish, like, the more you try and catch them, the better they get at avoiding you. I haven't tried to catch these guys. Some of them I haven't ever tried to catch them. They were born in here. So that helps. I guess all these guppies are here. I may as well like net some of the guppies if they're gonna make it easy for me. Some of them do look pretty cool, so I might isolate them later or put them in an auction later, but for the ones that do have nipped fins from the Zenatoka, I just want to let them heal up some. But honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was, so maybe I was just being a little dramatic. Ooh, okay, let me show you guys this guppy Indler creation. I think this guy looks cool. A second. Ugh, 1 sec. I think. Yeah, I think that guy in the middle. He's got a pretty cool pattern, in my opinion. Yeah, I like that. I'm looking forward to them being in a tank I can see a bit easier, or more often. But there's honestly a lot of space in here. There's not that many fish in here, so it's gonna be nice. The first step of making this tank a little bit nicer is just let me take out as much as I can. Let's redo this, replant everything so it looks nice. There's some fish that I've definitely noticed benefit from a little more space, so it's nice to be able to put them out here. God damn. I'm catching nothing but guppies. Where the Zenatoka at? Whew. Where are they at? Okay, there's one. It's really annoying with the Zenatoka. I really do feel like the males are a lot harder to catch. So I got 2 females here, I believe. And I told you I've been really heavy female with the Zenatoka. I don't know if it's temperature, if it's pH. I gotta go look up again what it is for them, but I just got so many females. And in my other tank inside, because this isn't my only colony at the Zenatoka, sadly. You say Guppy Pro? Conrad, I see you talking shit. You guys want to see some wild isopods? Conrad in here making me want to show my work. There's some isopods I could show. I don't want to bore everyone with me catching guppies. I mean, come on. But actually, on the Zenatoka, I already got the females I need. I just need some males. I can't tell if these fish are funky or that's just how lmao look. I thought this fish looked like a little weird and long, but they're not skinny, so I was like, is this some kind of but I think the lmao are just longer than I'm used to the live bear females being, or something. They look fine. Yeah, I don't see any signs of. I mean, I've looked out. It's not like I never look at this tank or anything. I do actually usually make it out here every day to watch it for a few minutes. This maybe like 4 months ago, this was a bit of a problem tank for me. But I think it was some tank mate incompatibility. I had some rainbow cichlids in here that kept trying to breed. Ever since I took them out, everything in here has been looking fine besides nipped fins from the Zenatoka. Alright. So I'm just waiting. Oh, there's a male. I just need 2 males. I've got the females. I'm telling you, the males are just so, yeah. The females, they did still kind of wander into the net. That guy, he just was like out of here, bro. What the fuck? Try this again. I need to move the limia to a tank I can see inside because they're beautiful. I don't know if you guys saw when I showed earlier, but very sparkly. I think the fish that I thought looked funky are just coals as I'm looking at them. They just look like if I were out here watching like the fry and stuff, I would have maybe put them into a tank with a coal eating fish. I don't really have too many of those. Okay. Let me get 1 second. Well, actually, that's why I accidentally ended up with this angelfish, and that is why I put him out here to eat some coals. Riverless, guppies, and corridors of those fish I recommend to everyone in the sunlight before you count them out. There's so many species showing awesome colors in sunlight. Oh, that's true. That is true. Some just need the right lighting. I've noticed that. I know Putu said like heat sealing stream. I guess technically like I'd be leaving early in the morning, but just, since I haven't even done my shipping trials yet, like the idea of bagging them this far in advance like scares me. But like in theory, I guess it's probably fine. So it's possible. We'll see what the vibe is. I might have put everyone to sleep by then. Alright. Big male. I can tell just by the way that he's impossible to catch. This is it's a male. The Zenitoka can look pretty good in the right lighting, right conditions. Kind of like what you were saying. When they get stressed out in this kind of situation, definitely it's a little harder to tell. Damn it, that's a female too I just caught? I thought that was a male. God damn. Great suggestion to maybe bag them later. Yeah, I might just bag them in the morning. Like I said, I might sit them in some fresh water and then just, you know, change out half the water or all the water when I bag them in the morning. We'll take a look. After I catch 2 males, we'll take a look, see what's in the auction. We'll add what we've caught. I'll do the photos later. I just don't see the damn males anywhere. Bro, I know I was heavy female, but like there's not 0. You feel me? Oh, is that a female limia? That thing's huge. Where are you? I need my light, bro. I need my light. Let me a second. Let me grab my light. Light has been retrieved. Let's see if we can find this male. Thanks for streaming. Gotta sleep a few more hours over here. See y'all later. Hey, really appreciate it. Thank you. My pod's also lead female? Interesting. I haven't really thought about that. Seeing female, bro. Everything's female, bro. This is crazy. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty. The yellow. Okay. Oh my god, bro. I might have to grab. Oh! There's one. Alright. Okay, wish me luck. I see him. Wait, where'd he go? I just seen him. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Hold up. Okay. See him again. There we go. Two nets. Two nets. Two nets. Two nets. I think. Nope. Nope. Got him. Got him. Don't jump. Don't jump. Whew. All right. Just need one. I just need one more. That was easy. What's the problem? Yeah, Mick. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's been great. Okay. I'll show you that guy. Where's my damn? I put the light down in a rush. There it is. It's gonna be hard to tell in this thing. But there's a male. Oh yeah, you can see. Are you looking? Let me look. What's up with you? You looking normal? You looking healthy? You seem fat. You seem shiny. You don't seem very happy with me. But, okay. I'm also just, you know, you're putting fish in an auction. You want to make sure that they look good. There's a lot of fish in there. Most of the fish I look in all day have a lot less competition. I'm feeding them a lot more. It's like, damn, you're not ready to drop 40 babies right now? Of course, that's intentional, because I don't really, yo, these guys look crazy. Hold up. I gotta catch these. Gotta catch these. I need to get my red root floaters going out here because it's just a giant duckweed, which is totally useless to me. Like, nothing likes to eat it. At least the other floating plants, some things will like eat some of it. Help. Help. Okay. Okay. Yeah. One more male, then we're done out here, bro. We're almost done. Then I just want to look at what's actually in this damn auction. I dropped my net. I'm trying to get my net that I dropped. I don't want to put my whole sleeve in there. Okay. Alright. One more male. I didn't think it would be this bad. Like, the ratio, it's not like the problem is I'm not seeing fish. I'm seeing tons of Zenatoka. It's just that they're all females. I did say before the males do seem to be more prone to hiding, but my God, bro. Come on. I am glad to get some of these guppies out of here and into a better, more appropriate tank. I do have some males in an easier to catch place inside. I just was kind of trying to save them and just like depopulate this tank. So like, I do have easier to catch males out there, but I'm trying to get them from out here. What's that one? There's so many, like, there's so many fresh Zenatoka too. Like, that's what's crazy. They're going nuts in here. Nothing likes to eat it. I'm shouting goldfish. I don't like goldfish though, that's the problem. I don't want them. I do need a more herbivorous fish though in my life. That is a fact. Alright. I'm about to go check the tank inside in a second. I just am not seeing... I'm not seeing any males, bro. Just not. I'm sure that there's some in there. But they're vastly outnumbered. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I need to fill this tank back up. I don't know what's making it evaporate so much. Melody was growing plants out of it, but it seems like it's evaporating faster than I want it to. Alright. I'm calling it. I'm gonna do one more scoop of guppies. Then we'll take a look at what we got. Take a look at what we got. And I'll get a male from inside. Ooh. This one's got like a purple dorsal. It's kind of cool. But my net got caught in a plant. You hate to see it. But I just want to, I'm like in a rush because I don't want to be out here. Being out here is making me tired. I don't want to be out here, and I want to see what's in the auction so I can see what else I need to catch. Or that I can just catch in the morning. Because I'm going to have to wake up at I probably should wake up at like 6 or 5. Because it's a little bit a ways. It's definitely out of my way going to this thing, but I've been wanting to make it, so. Oh, I thought I saw a male for a second. False hope. I really want to fill up this tank now, but I'll probably do that off stream. But now I'm out here. I'm like, I want to work on the tank and make it look nice. Okay. Got a group. Zenatoka. We got plenty of females. We just need to catch a male. We can work with that. So. Comet goldfish are the best. Oh my gosh, the goldfish people are unionizing. Okay, let me move these downstairs. Then I gotta come back and get all the electronic stuff. Give me 1 second. The hard part is over. Now, if you're here, you get to help me plan my auction strategy, okay? So, if you're here, stay here. Because I'm gonna need help reading all this shit. Okay. Fish pond. When the stream's over, I'll probably distribute those guppies. And what we're gonna do now, look at what people have listed in the auction, see what we might want to buy, see what we might want to consider taking the time to catch in the morning. I'll probably catch some plecos, and I'll probably catch some a hill stream or two from my colony, because I'm sure there might be some hill streams in there, but usually there isn't too many hill streams, if any. And you know, I got you always got, you know, oh, I got the tank raised. Oh, they're tank raised by me. It's always kind of cool. All right. Oh, let me show you the fish we just caught real quick. Let me not be rude. Though, for some reason my chat is like bugging. Alright. So here are the guppies we've saved from their fins getting nipped by the Zenatelka. I tried to get the word. There were some in there that were fine. These guys had long fins. You can see they've been beaten up quite a bit. So getting them out of there. Hopefully to a better place. But other than the fins, we're looking all right with those. I'm not freaking out yet. I really like this. Man, that guy, the Endler, like tiger pattern one. I like that. So put in my grandpa's tank. Maybe I'll put them with some. I have some blue panda guppies. Maybe I'll make that into like a guppy hybridization zone. All right, so let's see. Double check, make sure all the Zenatelka look good, look healthy. Like I would want to put my name on it. It's always hard when they're obviously not happy. We got one male, the rest are females. I'm not seeing any like pinched bellies. They all look like they've eaten recently. Can't tell if that one has like a slight weird body shape or not, or if I'm just looking at it weird. That's the only potential thing. But I'm not necessarily seeing any health problems or anything like that. That's mainly what I'm concerned about. Like I said, I haven't had any problems in that tank besides the nipped guppy fins. But hey, live stream goes to show you, I'll look at the fish before I bag it, at least a little bit. So probably off stream, because I don't feel like doing it right now. I'll catch another male and I'll separate these all into smaller groups, and then tomorrow we'll bag everything and yeah, make sure everything's good. But so far everything we've caught has been looking good. Ada, are you for real, bro? You guys just don't see this has been happening the whole time. The whole time I've just been talking. This has been happening. She wants me to make space. Okay, 1 second, Ada. I have the laptop in my lap. And like there's not really space on the desk for it. Give me a second, Ada. Give me a second. I don't know. Okay. Alright, you happy now? You happy? There you go. Yeah, okay. So, Ada the cat has gotten her spot. She so demands. It's so hard to stream or catch fish at this time of night because all she wants to do is sit on me. And then she wants to attack me to get me to move whatever's in my lap out the way. Oh my goodness, but I can't be mad at her. I can't be. I'm sorry. Alright, fish, I just need a little bit more space on the desk. Okay. Alright, this is the fun part. We've gone through the boring stuff. Let's look at this damn auction listings. I need your help deciding what I should try and bid on, and also, you know, that is something that is also affected by how much I think I can make selling stuff. Because my goal is to leave with some money while also only spending the money that I made from the auction. Ideally. But that requires some planning, that requires some strategy. Auction preview. Okay, I'm pulling it up. The window capture. Don't tell me my fucking screen share is broken again, because that's gonna... Oh, you know what? I think maybe I can't do it while my phone is on here. So let me remove my phone real quick. disconnected my phone. See if we can get this auction preview going. Yeah. Bro, come make space. Come on, make some space. Yeah, Ada is very insistent. I don't know what to say, man. This cat, she just knows what she wants. What she wants is space in my lap whenever she demands it. I mean, look at this. Yeah, don't act all innocent. The worst is when I'm like trying to work on something or like reaching into a tank and she starts biting my elbow. Like, dog. Are you for real? Are we for real right now? Are we for real? So, I'm just dealing with OBS. For some reason, the screen capture totally breaks whenever I use my phone as a camera. So, we're gonna have to finagle things a little bit. And I'm just dying because I don't got any desk space because I just put all these fish on it. I can't have my laptop on my lap like it's called a laptop because I got a damn cat that demands her space. But okay. Pulling up into this auction page. Going by lots. Lots. Okay, here we go. So, page number 1 of the what? Bucks County Aquarium Society auction. This is what we're looking at right now. Okay. This is what we're looking at. So, let's see if we see anything on this page so far that we're into. We got some cherry shrimp. We got some shrimp. I don't need shrimp. 3 Santa Maria. Yeah, Limia. I don't need that. Black purple guppies. Don't need that. Bag o' cribs. Yeah, I'm good. I got plenty of bags of cribs. Let me tell you. Bags o' cribs. No. Neon tetras and cherry barbs, and yeah, I'm not seeing anything on this page for me. Let's see, page 2. Firebar Daniels. Uncommon. Is that true? Are Firebar Daniels uncommon? Let me look them up. Firebar Daniels. Buy. Are they available to be bought anywhere? Out of stock on Wet Spot. They're out of stock a few places. So I guess I could see them being uncommon technically. Yeah. I know nothing about them, so you say it's uncommon. I agree. Don't technically look like my type of thing. Now F0 of this Cory Doris Atropersonatus. I'll pull up a photo of them real quick. F0. I always like that. That's always kind of fun. Let's see what Glasser's got them looking like. The Fairy Cory. So this has a collection point associated with it, so I don't know if it's totally accurate to what this listing is. But a lot of the photos I'm seeing kind of look like these Corys, so I mean, cool looking Cory. If it looks anything in that neighborhood, yeah, looks like a cool Cory Doris to me. Ada, are you for real? She wants me to pet her. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, be honest, I'm fading fast. I need to lay down. When you lay down and go through this auction list, I feel like this is such a weird stream. I hope this wasn't too boring. I was just like catching stuff. I mean, I guess I was honest with what it was going to be in the title, but my god. I just got a lot to do, so got to get these fish all sorted out, make sure they're not too stressed out or anything like that, so I can bag them in the morning. So any final thoughts, last questions, words of wisdoms? And my tanks is about to be in a dream. Oh god, no worries, I'm catching snails. I hope I don't have too many dreams, but I'll probably be up for another 2 hours, honestly. Ada, yes, you good girl. You should girl, Ada. Oh my goodness. Ada wants me to go lay down in the bed so she can lay down on top of me. And I can do that, and I can look through my thing. Cat attention tax is real. Seriously. It really is. Alright, last thoughts, guys. Really, yo, Mick, you were holding it down. I really appreciate it. It's nice having someone who knows more about killifish than me giving me their thoughts. I'm glad you thought the Procapus looked good. I'm gonna keep working on them. Hopefully I can eventually say I'm competent with them. Couple of fish. Appreciate you stopping by. Sheesh Bob, of course. Bird Sniff. Appreciate you, Nathan. I'll make some YouTube videos, bro. Just patience. I'm working. Branton, appreciate you stopping by. Yuyo, always stopping in. I know it's late for you. I'm gonna try and do some earlier streams coming up. But you know, don't hold me to this. I'm hoping I have a video out this week. All right, that's my hope. I got a very busy weekend, but I'm hoping to make it happen in the week. I think I got most of the footage. I got like 80% of the footage I need for the video I want to be next. So, but don't hold me to that. But you'll at least get one video and a couple streams. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, live-wise, always let me know. But otherwise, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Bob, Putu, Yurio, Vic, Brandon, Bird Sniff, a couple of fish, all the people I've already mentioned. Anyone that stopped in, lurkers. I don't really type in text in most of the streams I watch, so listen, I understand. Sometimes you just need something to fill the empty space, the void. Appreciate it. I see you, you recognize, and I'm totally with you on the vibe. I'm gonna go make sure these fish will be good for the morning. Pick some eggs, maybe catch some hill streams. Double check over and over again to make sure. I'm like so paranoid about fish health stuff. Like, I feel like you deal with one sickness, one disease, like a calamus worm or something. It could be like 5 years later. It's so scarring, bro. So like every time I do the auctions, like I'm always like staring at my fish, like, did I miss something? But no, everyone's looking good actually. So hopefully I'll be able to show out, have some nice fish there. I'll check through the list to make sure nothing's too redundant. And I'll probably just catch some hill streams. Maybe some plecos, even though there's probably tons of them. Maybe some magenta mystery snails. Call it a day. So I don't think I'm even gonna take shrimp to this one. Usually I always take shrimp. I'm not gonna take any shrimp. I guess I'll take some isopods. But besides that, probably mostly what we caught. I might just catch more of what we already caught. But goddamn, I find any way to just keep talking. So say goodnight to Ada, the attention. Yeah, Ada. She's like, I hate this, but I know I've been caught. He is. You're very cute. So I'm gonna go hang out with Ada. We're gonna finish up getting ready, and I appreciate everyone hanging out. Lots of cool stuff coming up. I haven't got any audio complaints, but I'm actually kind of an audio person. So if anyone listening has ever had the thought of, man, I wish the audio was better, or man, this thing is loud, I know. I know. For me, I'm trying to make the streams as easy as possible, so I just, you know, don't overthink it, but I do have some ways to improve audio in the future when I'm on the move. It's easier when I'm staying in one place, but I like being able to move around, so I've got labs and stuff. I just gotta hook them up, and usually these are a spur of the moment thing. So, all right, no more talking. I appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Have a good night. Good luck with your fish tanks, whatever you're doing. Don't be a stranger. If you're on the replay, appreciate the replay. Drop a comment. I'll try and respond, and I will see you around next time, tanks. And Ada the cat.